Calgary Police made 2 arrests in relation to the stabbing incident and resulting homicide that occurred in the community of Brentwood early Saturday morning. At approximately 3 a.m. Saturday, January 13th, 2013, police were called to a residence in the 5,000 block of Brisbois Drive, Northwest. Upon arrival, officers found 2 men in medical distress, suffering from stab wounds. Both were transported to hospital in serious, life-threatening condition. A short time later, one of the victims succumbed to his injuries. The other victim remains in serious condition in hospital. Late on Saturday, January 12, 2013, a 17-year-old young offender was arrested and has been charged with second-degree murder. On Sunday, January 13, 2013, Mitchell William Harkes, 19, of Calgary, was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and 4 breaches of various court orders. Official identification of the deceased is pending formal identification from the Office of the Medical Examiner following an autopsy. Well, I'll take your questions.
Is the young offender a male or female?
I can't comment on that.
17-year-old.
Can you tell us what led up to the stabbing?
There's indications that there was a party at this residence. The party was advertised on social media. Now, it's a great way to share information. However, you cannot control who has access to that information. And there's a strong possibility that unwanted guests can look at that information and attend. In this case, we have 5 individuals who did show up who weren't invited, and they were asked to leave the party. They did so. We believe that the motive is a targeted attack in the sense that a number of individuals returned to the party in response to the earlier incident. In other words, that these individuals were asked to leave the party, and that they did.
Do the 2 accused know the victim, or were they?
No, there's no indication that they know.
How many times did police attend the residence that night?
Pardon?
How many times did police attend the residence that night?
Police attended at approximately 12:30 in response to a complaint of an assault, and that was from the unwanted guests who had been asked to leave the party. Uniformed personnel spoke with the complainants and also spoke with the partygoers, and then the complainants left the scene.
Do the 2 accused know each other?
Again, it's currently before the courts, and protect the identity of the young offender, I can't comment.
Does the victim live in the house?
No, he did not. He was visiting there. He was a guest at the party.
Do the 2 victims know each other?
Yes, they do. They were both in attendance at the party.
Aside from the stabbings, were there other injuries? Like, was there a confrontation or potentially like a fight involving 4 people?
I can tell you that there was an altercation in the house, but because this case is currently before the courts, I'm unable to provide you with that information at this time.
Do you guys know, do you have any information that the victim tried to break up the fight at all? Like some of the
As to
families?
details of the investigation, it's currently before the courts, and I cannot provide that information at this time. What I can tell you that there were 5 individuals who were asked to leave the party. They did so. In response to that, 9 individuals returned to the party in 2 vehicles, and at least 4 people went inside the residence. The rest stayed outside.
Just to be clear, the 2 that are charged now were 2 that were previously told not to leave, or they're new people that showed up?
One of the individuals is a new person who showed up. We believe the second person charged was there earlier.
Which is which?
The male showed up later on in response to what happened earlier. The person, Mr. Harkes, who's charged, showed up at the party in response to the earlier incident.
So he was there twice or once?
He was there once.
How many people were at the party overall?
There are estimates of between 60 to 100 people in attendance at the party over the period of the evening. Now, there is no indication that the party got out of control. In fact, the individuals hosting the party went to neighbors and told the neighbors that they were going to have the party. So they were acting responsibly as far as dealing with their neighbors.
So did you say the 17-year-old did leave and then come back too?
Yes.
Is Harkes known to police?
Yes, he is known to police.
You mentioned he breached some conditions. That's what he's also charged with. Can you say what conditions those are? Or?
I don't have that information from me.
Can you tell us about the weapon?
Knives were used in the stabbing, and we have recovered, or we believe we have recovered the weapons.
So there's 2 knives. I'm assuming there's 2 different people charged. And
Yes, there are 2 knives, and we believe we have recovered the weapons. What I can also tell you is that if it wasn't for the great work by paramedics and doctors, we probably would have had a second death in this situation.
Are you expecting more charges to be laid in response to the second victim who's in stable or serious conditions now?
Charges have already been laid in regards to the assault of that victim, and we don't anticipate any more charges.
Is it believed that both accused stabbed the victim, the dead victim? Because I know in some cases a second-degree murder charge can be, that was the plan in a sense.
What I can tell you is that there are 2 individuals who are charged with second-degree murder. But as to the details of the investigation that's currently before the courts, I'm unable to provide you with that information at this time, but we're hoping that information will come up in the future.
So is there a bit of a cautionary tale here? We've seen this before, people broadcast these parties and kind of let anyone invite anyone. Is there-
Yeah, and as I stated before, that social media is a great way to exchange information. However, you cannot control who has access to that information. And in this case, we had a number of people who did get the information and decided to attend uninvited. That led to an incident where they were asked to leave. And then in response to that incident, we had people return to the party, and we now have 1 person who's deceased and another one who was in the hospital suffering from a serious injury.
Can you tell us the time frame from when they were asked to leave to when they returned again?
It was approximately 12:30 when they were asked to leave, and the time of the incident.
2:58.
Just talking to one of my investigators, it was 2:58 at the time they returned.
There's still a police presence at the Blackiston address today. Can you tell me why that is?
We have several search warrants that we have to execute, and we're waiting for our forensic crime scene team to be available to conduct forensic examinations at several addresses.
Do you know who lived at the house? Was it rented by university students?
It was rented by university students, and they have been in that residence for approximately 9 months.
Do you know how many of them lived there?
I'm not sure, but approximately 5 live there. But as I've stated, that there's no indication that this was a problem house. And in fact, the residents of the house went around to the neighbors to notify them that they were having a party.
And what would you recommend if someone has a house party and people crash it? Is it best not to try to remove them yourself?
It's best not to try and remove them themselves, but contact the police, have them attend, and they'll assist the hosts of the party to remove any unwanted guests.
When you say that they're unwanted and uninvited, do you mean that they didn't know them and like they didn't
Yeah,
know
that they
them at
weren't
all?
known to the hosts of the party, that they weren't invited, and the hosts asked them to leave.
Just so I'm clear, is it alleged that this group of 9 came back with the sole intent of sending a message, for lack of better term, to whoever booted them out?
We're stating that we believe this was a targeted attack, that a number of individuals returned to the residence in response to the earlier incident.
And do you know, was it posted on Facebook or was it Twitter, or do you know how word got out?
It was posted on social media.
Was it like a private event or was it public?
It was an event hosted by the homeowners or home renters for their friends.
Do you know the age of the other victim?
I believe he's in his early 20s as well.
University student?
Yes. The majority of people in attendance at the party were university students.
Do you have any updates on the other homicide? Matthew Brown
No, I
victim?
don't. I
Any
don't have any
suspects found or
information on
no?
that. Okay, thank you very much.